want to use me to get your funding. There's a big problem out there. You got all the competition doing everything ass backwards. You got credit card seekers, business credit cards, personal credit cards, and then you got your rocket scientists, all you clients out there that's like, oh, I'm so smart. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get funding on my own. Yeah, true. That's like a first grader saying, I'm going to go jump in a car and drive it. They don't know shit about driving a car. You get in a car, you're going to crash. Maybe later on you learn how to drive a car, and you're even at that car level, which I've never seen a client even at the car level. Even if you were at the car level, you'd say, hey, I want to find somebody that can teach me how to drive a Indy car, like a, Formula One or whatever, super fast car, or a specialist like a brain surgeon. Everybody out here is like trying to operate on your brain by yourself. Sorry, not everybody, but I'd say most people. The reason being is that everybody wants to go hit all these places and they think, oh, well, I know where to go. I know this place, that place. No, you don't. You think you do, but you don't. But say you did. Every place is different. Every file is different. But the problem is, like, I see this every time. Even when I do Creditrepair files, people get it, I get it cleaned up, and I say, don't go get any inquiries on stuff. So, one, for a lot of other reasons, and mainly for their own protection, mainly to keep from getting turndowns and all these other things, and stop ruining the credit repair process. But every time, there's always these guys that want to go out there and beat the system. Well, let me tell you what happens is, like, this is how bad it's hurting them, and they don't even realize it, and everybody doesn't even understand. Just like a client will come to me and they will say, well, I've gone to 3, 4, 5 places, 6 places, 7 places, and I got a $10,000 credit card, or like whatever they got. I don't think maybe sometimes they get a loan, but what happens is when I go back through to see what's going on, they're doing mistakes that they don't even know they're doing, and it's trickling through. See, they think they got turned out at one place just because that it's the problem of the bank or the lender or wherever they went to. No, it's the fucking problem of how your damn brain did things. You did it wrong through every single place, and it trickled all the way through because you never knew what you're doing wrong. And when you do that wrong, it goes through every place. So, like, just on the file I'm looking at today, which really, I mean, we got like probably, I'm talking like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things done wrong minute one, which would have got approved if you'd done right. So you got these 7 things, and then it trickles over to the next lender, the next lender, and the next lender. So you got like 5 places, and now, because he did it wrong, that means you can't go back to those places because you can't undo what you did. So you're like starting a race, but you just chopped off your leg, and you got to hobble through it. And then you come to me, and I fix it, but the best fix now is like put on a prosthetic, so you still can't even walk right, because you're talking about the reason why I'm good at funding and I'm different than everybody else on the planet is because nobody's got a brain, for one thing, but the real fact of the matter is funding. I've done it longer, I do it more, and I've done it myself, and I know what it takes is that you have to get the maximum funding ratio, which nobody even knows what the term is and never even heard of it before, because I made it up per loan, per credit line and loan, not credit card, credit line and loan. That means the most amount of funding possible at every single time. It can't be half, can't be a quarter, and it can't be a turndown. If you do that maximum funding ratio, each tier, each step you're going, so if you do 3 rounds of personal on a blank file, that'll let you get the maximum funding ratio on the business credit of like 100 to 250 increments minute one. Then you're talking 250, 300, 3 months later. And you talk 3 more months later, you're talking around 750, And a year later, you're bam, what the hell? Your business corporation is literally getting $1 million credit lines, $1 million loans, which I don't know anybody on the internet that gets crap like that but me, because they don't know anything from minute one. They can't even pass pre-kindergarten to get past kindergarten to get into first grade, and everybody's files are so jacked up. So when you got a professional, you got somebody that knows what they're actually doing, you want to hire them or get them on your team and get them going and working for you as soon as possible, because if you're making a repetitive key error all the way through every single place you go, it's killing you, because you're building the key concept of the of the personal credit right now is you build the foundation as strong and as solid as possible and the maximum amount of credit funding ratio that there is available, so each tier can be fulfilled the next tier. So I mean, if you mess up that and you do it in the wrong manner, then you're never going to make it. That tier is so critical. That piece of brick is the foundation for your castle. If you can't get the first brick laid, you're never getting a castle. You're stuck with crap. You got a pile of rubble. But if you want to build it right and get in the millions, like lots of my clients have done and people have done this for over the years, this is how you do it. So that's going to bring me to another topic, which I'm going to discuss after this in a minute. But before I get to that, I'm going to talk to you about another problem. Some people will call me and say, well, I don't like what you just said. I mean, you just told me about a place and the rate is a little high. Well, who fucking cares? You came to me after you got your shit all fucked up and you got a leg blown off, and I just said, well, we're going to sew it back together and put a prosthetic on it so you can walk across this moat of alligators and get to the other side, and then get on the side where the castle is and build it and do something right with it. And I tell people this, I tell them the plan, I tell them the map. I don't change. Everything's been the same. I've been the same phone number, same website here for 50 years. And I'm not talking a fake shelfcorp aged lying like all the others on the internet saying, oh, we've been around longer than anybody, or we've been around years. They're all brand new websites, haven't been around for the most part. I mean, some of the idiots, they are starting to be around. They used to flip them all the time, but Victor Funding, morons, kids, total idiots. Credit cards, copycats, they can't find shit. There's a couple other out there. Copycats. Nobody even had proof of shit. Some out there has proof of credit cards, and then all their business funding, they got, oh, well, daily pay, they got a couple proofs up there of like 100,000, 200,000. It's daily pay, and you just toxic loan your client into bankruptcy because you're stupid, and they just want to take the cash paid by the toxic loan lender and make the profit and burn the client to where he can't get any more loans and he's just not your client no more. That's just suicide, and you're hanging your client and yourself, and that's what they're doing. But they got proof of that up there, so that's technically one other company has proof, but I wouldn't count as proof. And then clients would fall for that and be like, oh, well, I think they're good. Well, I went with them because of that. Well, no, you got screwed because of that, and then you're not getting out of that until you put up collateral because you're in a daily pay toxic loan. So competition sucks, and I'm saying my point is, this is the second problem I have, is that when somebody comes to me and you're, battle wounded because you went all over the internet and you torched your credit, I'm going to pick up the pieces and I'm going to get you the maximum funding ratio. That means from the point you hire me to the point I go all the way to the top, you're going to get the maximum amount every single time, which is going to be the bricks to the castle. You got to do that. If you're not doing that right, you're not building anything. You're just going backwards. So on funding, I charge $1,000 up front. Holy shit. Did you hear that fucker? He's a scam artist. That motherfucker wants $1,000 up front. Holy shit. Who the fuck are you? Why would I send you $1,000? You're going to take my money. You're a scammer. You don't get shit. Well, no, motherfucker. I fucking charge $1,000 up front because after I've done this for so long, and now that I realize so many clients want to go out and not make the fucking payments, and I got to go pay back the loans myself, fuck you. So if you don't have cash flow, don't fucking call me. I only want the key, smart, business-minded, ideally older people. If you're young and stupid and you just can't in cash flow, or you want to just get by on credit cards, or you want to just get by and try and default on the shit, don't do it on my clock, because I don't have time for it and I don't care. I want long-term clients that have the brains and responsibility to make the fucking payments. Dude, you ever worked at a job and had to like pick up after and recover? I mean, like, I don't know any job where you gotta lose money and pay back people's shit because they can't fucking make their payments, but this job. So now I changed my method. Now I would probably do no money up front on a really hardcore credit file that has a house with, like, you know, 300,000-400,000 in equity and that kind of a hardcore file. But if it doesn't have a house and that kind of hardcore equity, that's a whole nother file. That means I got to do a lot more work and you're a lot more liability. People on the internet are hiding because they're not doing what they say they're doing. I'm not hiding anything. I'm doing what I say I'm doing. I just want to get key people and screen out the losers. And losers are people with no cash flow and not resourceful and can't use their fucking brain. Do you realize that leads me into the third problem that normal public has? The third problem. Here's how the problem is with people in general. Well, I'll say losers in general. The problem is that, you know, you could sit around and say, well, I don't want to start Creditrepair because, oh, let's give me a fourth one. Because you want to charge me $1,000. You want to charge me $1,500 because it's so bad. I mean, 1,000 if it's like 600 better credit, you know. I spend more than that in reality, like when you talk about overnights and all that other stuff, but I'm doing this to build a long-term relationship and get good clients. So they say, well, I need time to think about it, or I'm going to go Lexicon Law or all these other dirtbag credit repair companies that can't do shit and screw up your file more and then set you even back farther. But the problem is, this is the core problem in the mindset of the people, is that you realize that when you hang on to things and say, well, I got scammed, or I don't want to spend money, I think I'm going to get scammed, I think I'm going to get ripped off. But look at life. Look at hedge funds, real estate, stock market, even meeting women. If you're so paranoid, you don't want to meet a woman because you got burnt, you're going to turn into a gay person, or you're just not going to go out and meet them. The trick is, like, if you were meeting women, you would meet as many as you want and get rid of the bitches and keep the good ones. But you can't get to that point. I'm just using that analogy. I'm not in chasing women anymore, but I'm using an analogy. Just like the stock market. If you're in stock, you have a bunch of stock, and you're losing your ass on stock, you could sit there and say, you could sit and cry about it all fucking day. You can cry about anything all day, which people do. The problem is, the faster you get rid of whatever it is, it's the negative, and get onto the more faster the positive. So you have a shitty stock, you sell it really fast, and you lose your ass, maybe thousands of dollars, or in my case, it's a lot more than that. But you learn real fast, you cut it real fast, even if it's millions, and you get into the hot stocks, and you stay in the ones that are always positive, always making money. If you get into 9 things or 10 new things versus the one negative, even if you got, say, we're talking about being scammed. So you got scammed. So even if you tried 10 new things, out of the 10, you're going to find the hot ones that are going to work. I'm saying by not doing things, by not moving forward constantly, you're doing more damage to yourself by hanging on to the negative fact that you got scammed. Now, you got scammed. So what? Everybody does. The more times, like in sales, if you got 10 turndowns, just means the 11th one is going to be a closed deal. But if you're waiting to get into Creditrepair, you're just promoting the longer that you got ripped off, or promoting the longer that you're going backwards. Because right now in this economy, if you don't have access to credit and you got laid off from your job, or you got this whatever come up, or a problem in your family or your kid or whatever, and you need credit, you need money, or you want to take advantage of opportunities, you're screwed. And if you're not treating your file like it's about the most important thing in life, like money and credit, technically on a superficial level, it is the most important thing in life. On a superficial level, for society and surviving, it is. So you want to treat it that way and get it fixed and get your credit up where you want to have as much credit as possible, especially because you could take advantage of it. So many opportunities right now, so many ways to get rich. Everybody lost so much money on the COVID stuff, these closings, the stock market. I made tons because I got my money in all these other things that are making money right now. But who cares? Everybody could do that. Anybody could do that. I'm not special. I don't need to be on the internet like, all these guys got to put their face out there and show up all the cars and all this stuff, because they're marketing about what they're marketing on dumb people. And that's how they make their money. I make money off of smart people, and I don't got to show all this stuff. I show it just to show I'm real, but I make the money off of what I actually say I'm talking about. That's why I don't need to present all this other fake crap. So the delay to solve a problem is going to cost you a bigger problem. And then the last topic is like, you got to go to the absolute best professional there is, the best of the best. So like if you say, well, he's right, I got to do Creditrepair. Well, yeah, I would say you need to go to the guy that has the most proof of funding and proves that he can get the most Creditrepair done. I got more proof, like removing school loans, changing them to positive, bankruptcies, child support, all these things. I can take all that stuff off. I got all that stuff that's done. Then you're lined up for the funding. So the key thing is you got to get the best person to do the job. I get calls all the time, and I send them all the proof, and people are like, well, I'm going to go try it on my own, and they go try it on their own, and then they just do these multiple errors that trickle through every single place they go, on top of the fact they probably set up their file all shitty in the very beginning anyhow. All because they want to save a fucking dollar. If people realize that, like Amazon, Google, all these places, Apple, everything, all the things that are the best of the best, everything is because they have the fucking best everything. The best people, the best product, the best minds, the best parts, the best everything adds into the best. When you shortchange shit and you think, well, I think I'm going to operate on my brain myself because it can save me money, or the doctor's cheaper, I'm going to go to Mexico. Every time, if you're not doing things in the right manner with the right path, and you're guessing, or you're just going off on your own, and you're missing out on the whole aspect of funding and where you're supposed to be and how to do it, you're killing yourself and you're setting yourself back. So you can hang on to the fear you got scammed, or you're going to go try it on your own. But the reality is, there's so much to every single thing, every place you go, how you do it, where you do it, when you do it, what's on everything, that all lines up with the big picture. And every step, every little single thing adds up into multiple things, because you go to multiple places and it topples the big picture from the ground up. And it's at a key point that matters. well, you charge $1,000 up front. I don't want to pay you up front. You're a scammer. Well, fuck off, because you're going to get used to paying me a lot of money because I'm going to get you a lot of money. And I don't want to sit here and just take $1,000. I need a committed person that's going to do what I say. So right now, the reason I do $1,000 up front is because I have you do the application and you do all the stuff. So you're going to know it's going to go smoother, it's going to be better, and everything's going to work just 100% better anyways. And you're talking like, normally it's like 10% success fee, but most of the time, even in the beginning, I'll do like 5%. So you're going to end up paying me a lot more money than I'm ever going to be taking from you, because minute one, by the time I review your credit and they tell you the things about the path and stuff, even if you said, no, I'm not interested, that $1,000 of time that I just told you how to get a fucking $1 million in the path to it is going to save you more time and money. It's probably going to prevent you from setting yourself back at least 5 years just in the first fucking round, which most people do, which I'm looking at. I look at files all day long and I see it all the time. Almost guarantee that, well, I don't know. I'd say most every file I get has got major errors that has to be fixed in the way things are doing when you're going for funding. I mean, we can fix it fast and do a lot of things, but funding only takes like a day, and then we keep going. We max out the funding, and then make 3 months payments. Then we go again. Unless you got a hardcore file, then we probably go. We could possibly go straight to corporate funding. It just depends on the file. Every file is different. Every person's different. But, I mean, these are key things. I mean, if you're serious about credit, you should call me and get the funding done or get your Creditrepair. Because when you're not doing that and you're just sitting around getting it from retards, or you're trying it on your own and you're guessing because you don't know, you haven't been doing this 15 years, don't know every single thing that every bank does or every credit union. I mean, I know, and I can prove it. I've seen it. I've done it. I've done I've funded for some of the bigger companies on the internet. I mean, I had to get rid of them because they're so sloppy. I can't handle them. But I've funded up to 20, 30 people a day. I mean, I do this. I mean, done this for years. So I know what I'm talking about, so I know what I'm doing. So if you call me, what we're going to do, and you want to get funding, I'm going to look at your file. We're going to find out what the errors are. If I got to take off the inquiries, we're going to go back and fix a late here and there or whatever, I do that. Or if it's good, we start funding right away. And we do the key foundation for your file or where you're at, and then keep going, and then get in the corporate money and go through that, where I get you like $500,000 or $1 million bucks. Then I can get you into commercial real estate. I can get you, or maybe a little before that, I get you a nice portfolio, get money coming in. You want to get into other business opportunities, or you want to set your business up, or you want to get a corporation, and then we branch it out into different departments where your $1 million credit line ends up being $5 million, and on and on and on. But you have to start out with the key thing. And it's not about, people have to realize, if you hang on to your past where you got previously ripped off, or you think you're going to get ripped off and all that stuff, I hate to tell you, but success takes risks. The more risks you take, the more money you make. But it's not saying being stupid. I'm just saying a rich person like me, or somebody buys. I'll try a lot of things. I'm probably like the easiest sell. When somebody's talking about selling something, I'll get to the point. I'll say, what's the profit? How's it going to work? Blah, blah, blah. I'll buy it off that. I mean, I'm a good judge of character and everything, but you have to find the winners, and in order to find the winners, you got to try things. That means you're going to learn as you go. You might be smarter at it, but you're not going to. But if you're not doing that, you're not moving forward, and you're doing yourself more damage because you're going backwards. I mean, you have to find the winners to cover your losses. So if you're losing money, you got to get your shit quick into something fast. It's going to fix your shit and get your money back. By doing that, it's going to repair your loss and get you moving forward. If you don't do that, you're just going to still keep losing, going backwards, not making money. And the longer you sit on bad credit, you have a shittier place where you live, a shittier job because no one's going to hire you with good credit, and your kids are going to shittier schools, which that gives you more stress, that gives you open up for crime, that gives you open up for fucking earlier death. And health at this age, around their 50s or 60s, I don't care what they say anymore. People are not living longer these days. More people are dying earlier than ever before. I mean, I don't know if you noticed it, but tons of people around 50s, 50, even 45, 50 years old, they're dying all the time. Cancer, stroke, heart attack, all the time. And I know back when I did prior funding, like was around, a couple key scammers on one big scammer bitch in the internet. This was probably like 17 years ago when I didn't know shit about some corp stuff, and how she just totally raped and ripped off my clients. I mean, that kind of stress that causes people to have car wrecks, aneurysms. I mean, everything in life adds up. Karma is real. Jesus is real. The world is flat. I don't care if you say, oh, it's a sphere. It's not. It's round. They teach us at school. Yeah, the first thing they fucking indoctrinate your brain with is, oh, the world is a sphere. It's a circular globe. Bullshit. The first thing the Bible says, it's water separated by the firmament. The heavens are made in the firmament. The land divided by the water. Straight in the Bible. That's why the first thing in the grade school is about the fucking globe and all this bullshit, lies. Fact is, if you like lies and being broke, you go to the competition. You want the truth, you're going to come to me. That's the truth. If you don't think the world's fucking flat, you're fucking stupid, because I could go through so much proof, but the main proof is science is based on evidence of experiment. Repeated experiments is a law, and that's called what they call science. Science is fucking fictitious, based on whoever's report comes out with whoever's paying for it. Like evolution's bullshit, Darwin was wrong, all these other, even Einstein was wrong, he even admitted it. Nikola Tesla was right, but there's no proof where water sticks to a spinning ball and pilots don't ever adjust for the altitude when they're flying around this globe. But anyways, this is a soapbox. I mean, it doesn't matter. I just know what's real and what the truth is. And if you're an atheist and you don't believe in Jesus, you really got major problems. So that means you love lies and you don't want the truth, because the truth's been around and it's all over everybody's face. You just want to accept it. So if you like being broke and like getting ripped off by losers on the other competition in general, I mean, yes, some of them, yeah, Business Credit Suite, they're not ripping people off, they're just getting people down the wrong path. So I say they're not a scammer, but I would say a lot of them are ripping you off because, well, they're not providing what they say. But I'm saying, if you want to get down the right path and get the right amount of money, that's what you want to do. You want to call me and get it done, because I see this all day long, and every file is torched, depending on how far they've been doing this, how long they've been doing it on their own. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm saying I know what I'm talking about in this arena. Yeah, I did cuss a lot. Boy, I just really blew that one. But, like, you deal with so much stuff so long that it's difficult not to kind of be stressed out about it. I mean, at least not come out that way. But the point is, if you want funding, you don't want to wait until you've tried out 5 or 6 places because you think you know what the places are. Well, there's tons of places, but it's how, and the critical errors and like all through the whole thing you're doing is what's adding up and going to cost you later, because now you got inquiries, now you got things at every lender that's all wrong, so they're all gone. Those are off the table. Now we got to pick up what's left over. So you're losing money. You just lost by trying it on your own. You just lost just retarded amount of money because you can't go back. I mean, it's like if people go out and get $300 Capital One. That's oh, it's so easy. Well, yeah, you just set your file back at least a couple of years, or at least you got to work around it. I mean, maybe not a couple of years, but you definitely diminish the amount of funding you would have got on every place that sees that. I mean, that's one thing, but normally all these files, when people do this, they have multiple errors from the beginning all the way through it, and I'll point them out to you, every file. I mean, I would do it on the online, but I don't feel like educating the competitors because they're so retarded anyways. I've already got them all up to a whole nother level just by the way it is. Like prior to this, they would all say credit card funding and all this stuff, and we can do. Now they're saying they can fund off any single bureau. Well, yeah, I've been doing that for years. I mean, I've been doing all this stuff way longer. And it's funny now, some of them are actually keeping their websites around. Where before that, I could tell you who they were and what lenders, what websites they had way before that. But now, since they realize they can't put me out and all the slander they've done, and won't ever change my website or name, there's probably like 6 of them copied off my same company name. So, anyhow, I'm just saying, if you want the best funding and the capacity, the best credit repair to get things done right and to get moving forward, give me a call. I'd love to help you out and get people on the right track. Right, business-minded, ideally older people, they're responsible and then can make their payments. CPNs, nah, I don't want to touch them because eventually that's going to end up merging with your social security number, or you're getting up at the same place where your social was, and it's just not going to help you out. I mean, maybe if you're desperate, you need an apartment or something like that, sure. Just be careful how you use it. I mean, yeah, maybe you got to do that. Okay, fine. But like, you want funding and to move forward in a big path and not leave money on the table and not set your file backwards and not have a file that doesn't make it into the big money. Well, yeah, then you want to call me, and then you be the client I'm looking for. So there you go. That is what's up with funding and why you shouldn't wait to call me so I can get things done and get it fixed. So you're not going to just burn all these places, because I haven't really seen anybody do any funding. I mean, even the companies that I did funding for, you would think, well, God, he did 20 files a day for him, or 30, and you think they'd learned all his shit. Nope. I could even prove it. I mean, I still got people want me to fund for them because I'm a machine. I got it down so good that, I mean, I got all my credit repair clients, I got all my funding clients, I got my commercial real estate clients, I got my money, other businesses of my own going, and I'm organized and I have it, and I'm very strategic and fast. And even doing all that, having the clients come up with their documents, all this stuff, none of them could even keep up with me. And that company still, I mean, they still call me to this day, want me to do their funding. And they seen how I do things. Every file is different. That's why they can't figure out how to do this shit, because I'm original and dynamic and evolve and do things on a other level, because I'm an original. I make the path and nothing is going to be the same because I'm innovator. The way I get things done and how I go through about getting people from one point to the next point. Where the normal-minded person is a copycat trying to do it guinea pig style on the clients. So I don't know. That's it. So that's why you're going to want to give me a call to get your funding done, so you don't end up chopping off your leg and losing your file down the toilet because you went to 3 or 4 or 5 places and you got like half the approval amount on the one, and then you go to the next place, you got decline, you got another decline, you got another decline, you got another decline. If I get a decline, it's one, I already know it's going to be a decline probably, and the client said, well, I mean, I would have told them ahead of time, it's 50-50 chance, and I would tell them that ahead of time. If you give me a beat up, half roadkill, dead file, and I'm trying to revive it from what damage is done, I'm straight up say, well, this file, it's 50-50 at this point. If it is the decline, then we go back and I'll fix all your damage. But at least maybe you get the money now. That's when I would know it's a decline. Other than that, when I line things up and I get things right, I don't get declines. I know what's going on. I know how to call shots. I know what the lenders look for. I've done this. I know this. So that's that. All right. Well, great talking to everybody. I had to vent. Sorry about the cussing, but the key point I'm really trying to make is that, one, I know what I'm doing, and two, it's for your own benefit to get things going, and three, yeah, I'm gonna tell everybody it's $1,000 up front to get funding. Not for free, no money down, not anymore, not the way things been going. Like I said, if it's a beat up file, if I didn't get funding, I'll get your credit fixed or whatever, and then we keep going. If it's Creditrepair, yeah, you pay me up front, and then we go to funding, and then I don't charge up front. It's really to establish a relationship and somebody that I know is going to make the payments and not be a liability to me. See, other people are hiding because, well, they got issues of just not delivering. I don't have that problem. I deliver and I don't hide. So I'm not going anywhere, and I'm not changing my phone number. I'm not ever changing the company name or the website or anything like that. I'm going to stay here, not ever going away. So it's not like I'm purposely going to mislead somebody or tell them something wrong minute one. So that's what I want to make that point. And then also, I'm going to say, in cussing, yeah, I need to correct that and stuff, but the fact I'm saying those things is because the point I'm trying to make is that a person is either brutally honest in life and straightforward and real, or they're just either hiding or lying and playing Judas. You're going to kiss you on the cheek, and the next thing you know, you're dead. And that's why people call me and say sometimes, well, you cuss and all this stuff, you must be a scammer. No, I just don't like liars, and I hate fake people, and I can't stand fake anything. I hate flaky, fakey anything. I'm the most loyal person there is. So when I say these, and that's why I said flat earth, because the earth is fucking flat, and Jesus is real, karma's real. Man, and I'm cussing. Ooh, bad. I'm just establishing what's reality and what's not, and what's truth and what's not, and the fact that I'm telling the truth. That's all I'm making my point at, and that's what I'm saying. So yeah, I gotta clean up my act, I gotta work on that, but by the same token, it's better to be someone with key real people in your life than be surrounded by fake ones that are leading you down a wrong path. Because if you're not a Christian and you're dealing with a bunch of non-Christians, you got narcissists or people that are influenced by the devil, and their goal is to sidetrack you, delay you, screw your money, screw over your time, screw over your thought, put your mind in chaos and everything, and then that's like living with bad credit. You're just ultimately getting set up for the key moment. Like all the stresses add up, and then you get sidetracked. You either get in a wreck, you get a disease, aneurysm, stroke, and you die early. Everything is connected. So that is why I kind of go off the deep end about cussing a little bit at times, because I just want to say what is real. So now that you know, you want to get funding or you want to get credit repair, give me a call and I'll text you. I can text you like all the proof of funding, all the proof of credit repair. I mean, it's more than anybody else has out there. If you're a key client, business minded, ideally older, I mean, there's some younger people that are actually pretty good and smart and got their act together. Those are great. You know, responsible people. That's the client I'm looking for. I don't want everybody. And if you want to get started like that, give me a call and then we'll get things going. My number's 312-473-4163, or my cell phone's 312-218-8737. Thank you and have a great day.